Okay, hello everyone. So, this is probably going to be a long video because I've worked with this deck a lot. Um, I got it a month or two ago, and I think it's because it was so different, and plus work was hectic. I didn't dive into it straight away, like with the flip through, going, "Oh, it's in order, go for it." That's the only way to do it. Get the first impression out of the way, but the True Black Tarot is phenomenal in so many ways. The abstractness of the art, um, it's just insane. This is the box it comes in. Nice and matte, and it's just wow. Compared to Divine, the Divine Feminine Nocturnal, that presentation is insane. But this is just, it's nice. And it's called, it says that it is only in darkness that we see the stars, which is very true. That's what it says on the inside there. Very lovely embossed there. Now, I've just used the same background here, like just because it's the Christmas tea towel doesn't mean it's a Christmas. It's just because the thing I normally use underneath here is black, and you won't see it, so just makes it more differentiate. So these are edged already by the creator, and the cardstock is it's so unique, like compared to other decks I've had. Like there's the backing. Like this cardstock is insane. Like it's thick, but it's not that thick. It's sturdy, but it will bend if I actually, bend it in half. I have not riffle shuffled with it because I'm just too scared to. But I don't know how to describe it. Like it's just such an interesting cardstock. It is matte. On this side it's matte, but this side is like satin. Like a weird velvet texture on the back. It's like almost velvet. It's very interesting. And using this throughout 2021, I did the interview with it, and it turned out to be like an emotional support kind of deck. So like if I was having a bad day, I would grab it. And that was the interview I had with it. And it's very, very interesting. Like this whole deck is just insane. I've had this on my wish list for maybe a year and a half to 2 years. And there's a card, and I think it's the devil, I believe. Forget the devil. We'll get there and eventually see the thing. But I had a dream of the devil card. Where is she? Oh, she's in here somewhere. We'll get to her in a minute. I thought she was like really close. She's not. So, let's start off. Here's the Fool. And the thing is about these people in them, they're faceless. Like you can tell some face features on them, but they're mostly faceless. So let's zoom in here. And you can see their faces a bit better. So, like there's the Fool. And it just has this like butterfly wings ripple effect. I have to do this while there's still sunlight. But like that's insane. Like they took the leap. And the word is also foiled as well. It's really pretty. And it's not like the foil is annoying or anything. Like, sometimes foils are annoying. Like that's just really pretty. And it's not like, it's kind of like watermarked on really. Rather than a foil that's stamped on. The Magician. Above is below. Like look how apocalyptic that looks. Like that's really pretty how apocalyptic that looks. And there's the mirror bit up there. I'll just do the majors, and then when we get to the minors I'll do the flip through, like the quiet bit. But the moon card on this as well, once we get there, that's so mind blowing when my friend pointed out what they saw. So here's the High Priestess. Look at that. That wave of like if that was like space or nebula, it looks like nebula space going by, and she's sitting on it. Wow, like she's so mysterious. And the majors have faces, like you can see here. She does have her lips and her mouth and stuff, but sometimes they don't have any. I don't know. The Empress reminds you of Princess Diana almost. And the honeycomb kind of genetic code up here, or like periodic table, almost like a queen bee kind of effect with the honeycomb. It also looked like, how a chemical would work as well. She's stunning though. Stunning. The Emperor. The Emperor is very Jesus looking, I find. Which is interesting. But then also, like, it could just be a guy with long hair and a beard, like these days, like, But that's really good. I like that. It's really interesting, like the imagery in it. The Hierophant. I like how has this like this whip of like water almost, or energy. And his hat is insane. Like, it looks like it's another race that lived here before, kind of thing. The Lovers is stunning. I do like how there is a female and a male here. Like, you can obviously see that, but it is nice to see the ribbon effect as well, and the up, down, and up here, like up above and below. Their string is tethered. They have this mesh of messes behind them, and there's this like eclipse in the background. It's very interesting. Like, and I do like it when they do make it obvious, like, that's a male, that's a female. But it is also nice to see like the non-binary side of things as well. But then again, it's just to get the point across that that's a masculine and a feminine energy. That's it. Like, there's nothing else to it. The Chariot. I like how he's standing on like this moon kind of solar eclipse, and he's being guided blindly by these two doves. Like, that's such an interesting way to do the Chariot. And he has the reins. There's just nothing holding on to him. He's like letting the universe guide him. The Strength card is probably by far the most interesting, I find. It's a snake rather than a tiger or a lion or a bear. It's a snake. I like that. It's like a nod to Egyptology. I think it's Nat. Is it Nat? I can't think of the name of the Egyptian snake that's like the head of all the gods. But it's the one that's like the judgment, or the one that the world eater. So like, that's really interesting to see a snake in the Strength card. The Hermit. I like this. Like, it's when you lift it up, like, there's nothing, and then when I lift it into the light, boom. Just that enlightenment is there. Like, you're in the dark, boom, you're in the light. That's insane. Like, you can't see his face in the camera, it doesn't really help, but like, he is holding a hoodie and he's like just levitating there. There is some grass in the background, so that's just insane for a hermit. Now, the Wheel of Fortune has changed with the Destiny card, so it's like you're opening your mind's eye and your mind to all these possibilities of good, the bad, and the ugly. So like, that's insane. Like, I keep saying insane. That's amazing, because it is. Working with this deck was really interesting, and I don't normally just sit down and work with a deck. I rather like do the first impressions, because it's the first impressions. Like, that's totally different to a review, and a review takes time and stuff. Whereas, because I'll forget, so I'd rather do first impressions and a flip through, because get my initial reaction and I get yours as well at the same time. And there's Justice. I love how Justice is like shrouded in this veil. Like, it's like a bride waiting. But it's also like a masculine, like feminine looking person. Like, the body looks masculine, but the face, like, you can't see it, but I feel like the face and shoulders are very feminine. It's interesting. Very interesting. The Hanged Man. I like this. It's like the field of reeds in like Egyptology. They got a new perspective. They're being carried by these butterflies of change. That's such an interesting Hanged Man, honestly. Death. This Death card, at first I was like, whoa, I didn't get it. Now I do. They have a key here in their hand. They have this Chinese or Japanese in the background, they're the highlighted part. There's a skull pouring blood onto the floor, onto a lily, and lilies symbolise grief and death. There's a wolf here, and there's a man on this side. So I feel like this gateway is kind of like, Cerberus meeting a soul in a way, and this is like Hades in that sense, because he does have the key to the underworld, so that just makes sense in that way. But that's just phenomenal, and like the shroud on his head. That's an amazing death card. Temperance, and Temperance has been haunting me throughout 2021 so far. This card, not this one in general, but just Temperance. And I love this Temperance card. That blood red hair stands out so much. Like, that stands out so much. And one hand is red with a blue sphere, and a white sphere, and one is a white hand with a red sphere in their hand, or like a red spot in their hand. Like they've already squished the red one. And there's just this yin and yang in the top, and there's just this peace on one side, like flowers, and then there's swords on the other. So it just shows you like the balance between peace and chaos. Just nuts. Like the way this deck is done, it's just phenomenal. But yeah, so that is Temperance. This is the card that inspired me and like drove me to get this deck. I had a nightmare about 1.5 years ago, maybe 2 years. And it was like that kind of stampede scene, like Jumanji. Like the whole world was panicking, animals and dinosaurs and everything were around. Like anything was going chaotic. And it was that Jumanji like stampede scene, like in the town. This is by the way, this is the Robin Williams one, not the new one. And out of nowhere, I tripped, and a hand reached out, and I looked up, and it was this angel from the Devil card. And I went, when I woke up, I went, why did that angel look familiar? And I went to the True Black Tarot, and I saw the Devil card, and I went, wait a minute, the Devil saved me in a dream? I'm really confused. Because I remember the gold wings, the black hair, the 4 arms, and then the one going, shh, I'll help you. And then that other one hand offering out. I just remember that so vividly. And I had to have this deck at some point, so I didn't want to buy it impulsively because of that dream. I wanted to see what happened because of it. And then got life sent me down a path where I got a job, I got enough money, and I could treat myself to the deck. But yeah, like, it's such a unique card, and like, it's faceless. Like, they don't have features on their face. You can see a nose, eyes and stuff, but this one you cannot tell if it's male or female, and the eyes are just like, it's like a mannequin in a way. Like, those mannequins that have faces, but there's no eyes like in their eye sockets. There's just the shape of an eyeball there or something. It's that kind of thing. And the fact that it's faceless makes it more mysterious and just, it's not unnerving, but kind of like, you feel the energy rather than the fear of it not having a face. Here's the tower. And I like this tower because where its head is, this person's head, is the pupil of the eye. In the eye of the universe of the storm here. Or they're holding the iris of the storm here. They're split in half because they can't hold it. There's a wolf or fox down here. I really want to know why there's a fox down there. And then there's just this like kind of toxic kind of grapes. I think they are grapes, but I can't tell. My friend did say that they look like grapes. But you can tell me, I don't know. They look like I don't know, it looked like rain almost, or like splotches. I was really curious to find that out. The star card. This is my card. I love the star card. This one's really interesting. It's like moving. And she's holding water, like just this 2 bits of water. Doing what she does, she's pouring this one, focusing on this one, letting the universe drip this one down. Very good star card. Now, the moon card. Let me tell you about this. The more you stare at that, the more confusing it looks. But when I showed it to my friend, because I was doing her reading, their reading, and they went, hang on, this hand is her hand looking in the pool. So this hand that that's reaching out to touch her own head is her. Like, that's insane. Like, she's her own. You're your own worst critic, and the illusions and delusions you see are based on what you see. So, like, I could see. It's like asking someone, describe this oak tree you see in a field. Everyone will have a different opinion on that oak tree. Everyone have a different, like, description of it, and a different mood would be set. So that is a really good perspective. Like, everyone's perception of themselves is so different to what their friends see or their family, you know? That's really interesting though. Like, she's touching this bowl of water, but it's coming out here. It's so interesting. Here's the sun card. That's beautiful. Just that splash of colour with the sunflowers. That's nuts. And then the sun is just there. Oh, I didn't do that with the moon card. The moon card just has little droplets. It's not that much on that one. I like that. And the sun just has a sun. Very pretty. Judgment. Judgment is kind of creepy. It has like this flame as a face, and you can kind of see horns and stuff in it. It's been hurt. It has the thorns, like the thorn crown, and a sphere. It goes, your turn, and it has these like vines coming towards it. Makes you wonder, like, who is being judged here. Like, it actually does make you think, like, when the angel of judgment comes down, like in this sense, or in like the way Rider-Waite have done it, is it the angels judging us, or are we judging the angel? Because I've never seen the angel being hurt before, or determined, or angry. And it's just the way that's done, and like the way the clouds are caressing its ankle, like holding it back. It's making you wonder, are we judging the angel for judging us? Like, that's a nuts. The world. Okay, so the world, and then there's one extra card, and I'll go quiet and we'll do the flip through. So the world here is just really interesting as well, because it has like Roman numerals or dots and dashes nearly. So it's like, I think it's doing the Roman numerals of like the years coming out of it, because it's the ending. And it's very pretty. Like, I love the gold, like, butterflies and the Olympic headdress kind of thing, because it's like Atlas or Olympus kind of thing, holding the earth up. It's very pretty. I love that. Now, this is a knot. A knot is an exclusive card to this deck. There's all the speckles. It's about the snake. As I said, that's why I wanted to mention the strength card having the snake in it. It's to mention that it's the world eater. It's the never-ending cycle of time, and it's timeless. Like, it's forever going. So I've had this in a reading a few times for myself, or my friend, and it's like, whatever the problem is, it's never ending, or the thing that comes up, if this comes up, it's like, it's a timeless thing. It's going to be a constant thing in your life. And it's just interesting, like, there's just this embryo, and then there's this, the snake is attached to the baby in a way, because it's a never-ending cycle, life and death and rebirth, birth, death, life, death, and so on, you know, like, and it's really interesting. It's very interesting. Oh, that's such a good major. Anyway, so I'm going to pause here, and we're going to go all quiet, have some nice music, and flip through the minors.